Karibuni tena kwenye kipindi cha Twende Shambani, makala ya pili ya samaki wa Kamuthanga. Samaki wanaoaguliwa na kulelewa shambani hapa kwa teknolojia ya kipekee. Basi wiki iliyopita, Patrick alituonyesha hatua ya kwanza, ambayo ni kukusanya mayai toka samaki jike hawa wanaotambulika kama parent fish. Kisha mayai huletwa kwenye incubator, na yanapoagua siku 2 baadaye, samaki wadogo wenye jina fries huogelea hadi bomba hili wanapolelewa kwa siku 5 kabla ya kusafirishwa hadi kwenye recirculatory system, mahali ambapo samaki wana masaa maalum ya kula na chakula maalum, na ambapo maji husafishwa mara kwa mara kuondoa chembe-chembe za uchafu na gesi ya amonia. Fries hukua kwenye mfumo huu kwa siku 40, na baada ya hapo Patrick anatupeleka kwenye jumba la pili, nursery.
So from the hatchery, remember in the hatchery we get fish at 1 gram. The 1 gram that took us around 40 days for us to get the 1 gram. So the fish, if you're not selling them to our able clients as fingerlings, take them to the nursery. The nursery comprises of 10 tanks. We call them fingerling tanks.
Now they're fingerlings.
Yeah, they're fingerling tanks, because now we grow them from 1 gram all the way to 50 grams. So the fish take us 2 months for us to grow them from 1 gram to 50 grams in the nursery. It's a very unique area where we have small hexagonal tanks. So in the tanks, the tank is made in such a way that it provides all the environmental requirement for the fish. And fish, being an organism, it have its own requirement for it to grow optimally. One of the requirements is oxygen. Like we put 20,000 in one of the hexagonal tanks, which are 1 gram. The 20,000, that's a very small area because it carries about 4,000 liters of water, 4 cube. It's a very small area. So the oxygen that has dissolved in the 4,000 is not sufficient for the fish. So we must continue pumping in oxygen to supply them with the extra oxygen. So we have 2 air machines inside there. The 2 air machines, we call them the air blowers. They take ambient air, the air that we breathe in, which is 21% oxygen. It compresses the air and then push into the tanks for aeration. So and it releases the air through some 2 pipes. We call them diffusers. The diffusers are made in such a way they release the air in small bubbles. The smaller the bubble, the high the rate of dissolving, the oxygen dissolving.
Basi nasikia sayansi hapa imeanza kutupeleka kasi. Kwa wote mliozembea kwa somo hilo shuleni, sisemi chochote. Haya, hapa nursery, jambo la muhimu zaidi ni samaki kupata gesi ya oxygen kwa kiwango kinachotosheleza ukuzi wao. Pale hatchery, kiwango cha joto kilikuwa ni jambo la muhimu, na pia hapa mambo hayajabadilika. Na pia usafi kama pale awali, uchafu hapa is a no, no, no.
The other thing that we check is the temperatures. I'm sure when we were in there, it was warm. It is very warm. So it is warm because we use special roofing material which bring about greenhouse effect. Remember, each tank carries around 4,000 liters of water. So heating that water is very expensive because water has high heating capacity. It means it needs a lot of energy for you to increase the temperature by 1 degree. So heating all those 10 tanks maybe with water heater will be very expensive. So we do a combination of 2 things. 1, we have the solar panels like the one we saw at the hatchery. 2, we have the special roofing material. The roofing material bring about greenhouse effect in such a way that the heat gets in and cannot move out. In that system, you also need to make sure that you remove all your waste, the physical waste and the dissolved waste. We have a piping that has been done. We call it the sludge collector. The sludge collector collects all the solid materials through centrifugal process, where they are concentrated at the center, and then the sludge collector picks that, drops the sludge at the sludge box. Then from the sludge box it is taken to the filtration unit, where it is filtered in the sedimentation tanks. All that is filtered and the clean water comes back. That's why our water is very clear. And then we clean those sedimentation tank after 3 days. After every 3 days we clean them. At the center of each tank we have a very important component. We call it the bioreactor. This is where the biological reaction takes place. Why do we need a biological reaction in our tanks? Our tanks, we call them self-cleaning tanks. In that, even the dissolved waste is able to be removed within the tank itself. So in that bioreactor we have plastic material that hosts bacteria. These are very special bacteria that carry out the process of nitrification. Nitrification is where you remove the ammonia which has been released by the fish. It's part of fish excrete, the dissolved waste or the nitrogenous waste. So all that ammonia is converted into nitrate.
Ngoma sasa inakaribia kupasuka katika densi hii. Tulianza na kemia na sasa biolojia imeingia uwanjani. Ila cha muhimu ni kuwa tunafuatilia mchakato huu wa kusisimua kwa makini. Lishe hapa ni jambo la muhimu. Kumbuka samaki hawa walikuja hapa nasari wakiwa wenye uzito wa gramu 1, na kwa muda wa miezi 2 wanastahili kufikia uzito wa gramu 50.
The other very important requirement is the nutritional requirement. We feed our fish with very good nutrition nutritious feed. The feed in the nursery we feed them with a feed range of between 40 to 44% crude protein. That means they get good protein for faster growth. And through that, when you have a good system, good environment, and good fish that grows uniformly and good feed, you get very good results, where we grow the fish in 2 months for us to get the 50 grams. So now from the nursery, the fish proceeds to the grow-out section.
That is after 2 months.
After 2 months, yeah.
Safari hii kama hatua za kibinadamu, moja baada ya nyingine, na kufikia sasa samaki wetu wana gramu 50 wamefuzu toka nursery na sasa wako kwenye grow out section 1. Na hapa ni raha kwa samaki hawa, maana ni lishe baada ya lishe baada ya lishe. Iwapo najivunia safari hii, sipati picha ya furaha yake mkulima.
So after 2 months they come to the growth section. Now the growth section is a bigger version of the nursery. Yeah, so you are getting things are happening in a large scale, because now here fish are to grow from 50 grams to 500 grams, and that takes us only 4 months. It's a very short time. It's because we have a very efficient system. Yeah, so in 4 months we are able to grow the fish to 500 grams.
Which is now the market size.
The market, that's our target size, because for our core business, we need fish that are between 300 to 500 grams. That's a range in terms of clients, the hotels, all the way to the supermarkets, who needs now the bigger size. But most of our supermarkets here in Kenya are looking even to fish of 800 grams. We're able to provide that by pushing now the fish now from the 4 months to around 5 to 6 months. We get now the range between 500 to 800 grams, yeah, so that we can be able to sell our fish to the supermarkets, yeah. So in those 4 months, we do the only activity we do is feeding, proper feeding, because the system is just like the nursery one. We remove the solid waste, we also remove the ammonia from the system. So the process is just the same, and the pumping of air is just the same. So here now what we are left with is now the feeding process. We make sure that we are very precise in our feeding process by feeding with a very regular interval of 2 hours for 16 hours in a day, and we give them 8 hours to rest, so that they can digest the food that they have been eating in the 16 hours. But we have intervals, 8 hours, 4 hours, 8 hours, 4 hours. Yeah, so they have a very good time for them to feed, to feed and digest and assimilate that feed into biomass. So the feeding is very important because that one, the feeding frequency, two, the process of feeding is very important, which starts all the way from the hatchery. The training we do all the way from the hatchery. Yeah, and also the other thing is the type of food we give them. We feed them with a high quality feed, and the feed has now more of animal protein than plant protein, because it's easy to assimilate animal protein than plant protein. So through that we get very good growth.
Najua unayo hamu ya kujua kinachofuata baada ya miezi 4 ya proper feeding, kama vile Patrick alivyotamka. Baada ya uzito wa samaki hawa kufikia kilo kati ya 300 na 500, ni nini kinachofuata? Yote hayo na ya ziada baada ya mapumziko haya yasiyokuwa marefu. Karibuni tena hapa Kamuthanga Fish Farm. Safari ya samaki wetu imefikia grow out section baada ya samaki kuwa kwenye nasari kwa miezi 2, na ambapo cha muhimu zaidi ni proper feeding, ikiashiriwa na mashine hii kuzipa samaki chakula wakati wa usiku. Kwenye grow out section 1, samaki hukaa kwa miezi 4 ili kufikia kilo wastani kati ya gramu 500 na 800. Na kwa kuwa kila ukulima unatazamia faida, hapa Kamuthanga wanachukua muda upi kwa ukulima wao na wanapimia vipi soko lao?
7 months.
7 months.
Yeah, or around 1 month in the hatchery, 2 months in the nursery, and 4 months in the growth. And this is a very short time, because if you put this versus pond culturing, which 90% of fish farmers in Kenya are doing, it will take them 1 year and around 4 months for them to achieve that.
About half the time here.
Half the time. For us, we have 7 months. Yeah, it's half the time that we would take. Yeah. For us to monitor our production, we have a software that we use to monitor our production, so that we can be able to project, especially on to give very reliable data to the sales team, so that they know what we are producing at what time. So we feed the software with raw data, and the software gives us information on the FCR. FCR is the feed conversion ratio, the rate at which our fish are converting the feed to biomass, to growth. Then it gives us
So it's more or less like growth rate.
the growth rate. Yeah, then we get the weight. Like now I can tell you a certain tank is this big, and the numbers, we have the numbers, they are this much. Yeah, then we also can project on when is it due for harvest, and what average weight will it be at time of harvest. And through that it makes our work very easy to monitor the systems.
Patrick ametajia sales department, ambacho ni kitengo kinachoshughulikia uuzaji wa samaki shambani hapa. Basi soko lao ni nani? Na hebu nikuulize mtazamaji, je, unafahamu kuwa unastahili kula kilo 10 za nyama ya samaki kwa mwaka?
Market wise, the demand of fish is huge. In fact, from findings by Food Agriculture Organization, FAO, they say that by 2017 Kenya we were able to produce around 23 tons of fish in terms of aquaculture, 23 metric tons of fish, and from the lakes and the river they were able to produce to give us around 150 metric tons. So a combination of around 170 to 200 metric tons. But now the deficit, because the demand of fish is around 800 metric tons of fish in Kenya. We are very far away, yeah. So that's why we are being encouraged to do more aquaculture, because our lakes and our rivers can no longer produce that fish. Because they say that per capita consumption of fish should be around 10 kilograms of fish per year. So you are supposed to eat 10 kilograms of fish per year, but I'm sure we are in November and maybe you have not done your 10 kilograms. Yeah. So there's a very big demand of fish.
Jambo lingine la kusisimua shambani hapa ni kuwa wanawauzia wateja wao samaki wakiwa hai. Patrick anatueleza hili ni hakikisho la ubora.
The advantage of that is an assurity of freshness. It is fresh. Because when the fish come all the way from the lake, it will take you around 2 days to come to the marketplace. Then stays at the marketplace because of maybe the flow of the fish around another 3 days. By the time you are getting the fish, it's not that good quality. So a fresh fish is a guarantee of the live fish is a guarantee of freshness. Yeah, and fish is very perishable. And decomposition or rotting of fish starts immediately it dies. So the longer it takes, yeah. Now tell me about Chinese fish that moves all the way from Asia to come to Kenya, taking months over the sea. Yeah. So it will tell you the kind of quality the fish is in the market. Yeah, and that's why we recommend people to take the fish from Kamuthanga. And if you want us, if you request us to bring you live, we are able to do that. We'll bring to you live.
Teknolojia hii kama mlivyoshuhudia ni ya kisasa, ya hali ya juu na yenye kurahisisha mchakato wa ukulima huu. Na kwa kuwa shamba hili pekee halitoshelezi soko, Kamuthanga Fish Farm inatoa wito kwa wakulima kujaribu teknolojia hii, wakitoa mafunzo kama shamba la pekee barani Afrika lenye cheti rasmi kutoka Ecomark Africa label.
We are currently producing around 8 tons of fish per month. Wow. 8 tons. And this year we are targeting to produce 100 tons of fish. Yeah, and because we are growing together with the demand, because the demand is too high, so we want to grow together with the sales team. So as the production increases, the sales also supply also increases. Yeah. We try to secure the demand, but we cannot do it ourselves. It's a huge market. So we want to bring people on board. This is a system that has been tested and it is working. We have been running for 3 years. So we are encouraging more people maybe to do this kind of setup.
Do you offer the training?
We have a training. We do training here. We have training manuals. And we offer farmers with technical training that can take you 1 month, 3 months, depending on the availability. And the training cut across the whole value chain of the fish. The whole value chain, yeah. The other thing that is maybe important to mention, that due to the high production that we are doing, we are the largest inland aquaculture facility in East and Central Africa. In terms of our production, inland meaning that within the land base, and also we are certified.
Yeah, I was about to ask, what does that certification mean?
Yeah,
you're the only certified.
We are the only certified farm in Africa by AU, which has given a body known as also the mandate to certify agricultural products within Africa. And when it comes to fish, we are the only farm that is certified at the moment. So it means a lot to us, because it gives us confidence, because we know we are selling a product that, one, it is food safe. That means it doesn't have any harm to human health. The other thing is that we are environmentally cautious because one, we get our water from the borehole, and we get it at around 170 meters deep. So meaning contamination is very minimum, close to zero. So and our water, we take the water now to the farming for agriculture purposes, and there is no other input we take to the fish unless it's the feed. It's only the feed. We don't do antibiotics for the fish. The fish have a very good immune, and most of the diseases and parasites are opportunistic. They wait that when the fish are weak and they attack. But for us, with our system, it's very hard for you to find a stressed fish. So that's an assurity that the fish are good for consumption, and also they are safe. Also, they are not sick.
Safari yetu inafikia tamati hapa Pageant Tanks. Umuhimu wake sio jambo lingine ila kuboresha ladha ya samaki. Hebu tega sikio.
From the production now, we come now to the most important part of our system, the Pageant tanks. For example, this is a Pageant tank. The importance of a Pageant tank is to enhance the taste of the fish. If I sell you the fish from the production tank, it will be off taste because in that tank you have the excess feed, you have the ammonia. So when you eat it, you will feel the off taste. So we bring the fish outside in a clean tank. We change this water daily for not at least 12 days. They are out here. We don't feed them here, and we change the water daily. So this tells you that we clean the system of the fish. Everything in the digestive tract is removed. Anything within the skin, the intercells region inside the cells is cleaned. So you get a very tasty fish. So you will get the tilapia, the true taste of tilapia through this process. Yeah. So from hapa unaenda unapika, ama you eat it from a restaurant. The restaurant is just next to the farm. So you get it as fresh, just next to the farm. You get it fresh, and we sell at a very fair price. Yeah.
How much is the fair price?
150 a plate. We have a plate at 150 and another plate at 350, depending with the size. Yeah, so this is a good place. You come for a tour, you do a fish farm tour, and also unakula samaki.
Basi mmesikia wenyewe, teknolojia na ukulima zinapopatana, mambo ni kama haya hapa Kamuthanga. Na kwa ukarimu wa familia yake Anthony Ndeto, ambaye ni mkurugenzi na mwanzilishi wa mradi huu, tuliondoka tumeshiba lishe tamu ajabu la samaki fresh toka shambani hapa. Na basi wiki ijayo tukutane tena, twende shambani. Kutoka hapa Kamuthanga Fish Farm, County ya Machakos, kwaheri.